What up, y'all? This is a very special episode of Let's Talk More Action Golf. And tonight, we're doing something a little different. I've got a guest who's been here since day one, not just supporting the dream, but helping to build it. She ran the Instagram in the early days before she got bored and tired and left me doing it all the work by myself. She kept me focused, gave me honest feedback, sometimes a little too honest. And if you listen to the episodes all the way through, yep, you always hear her voice signing us off in style. She's my wife, my ride or die, the original co-architect of this whole thing. And tonight, she's stepping from behind the scenes onto the mic to talk about the podcast, golf habits, and everything else in between. And we're getting into how it all started as well, what it's been like behind the curtain, and why this podcast means so much to us. But before we get things rolling, I want to give a huge shout out to you. We just hit 500 downloads, and that's no small thing. And I'm thankful, I'm super grateful to you for telling 5 friends who told 5 other friends and kept spreading the word like only this community can. So thank you so much. And if you haven't already done so, follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk More Action Golf Podcast. Subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening so you never miss a drop. Because trust me, we got more stories coming. We got more guests coming. And yes, definitely more action underway. So now, we're not going to get into a monologue because this episode is way too special for even an introduction. I want to get into it with my wife, the woman who helped make this whole thing possible. My queen. Baby, you the real MVP. What's going on? Welcome to Let's Talk More Action Golf.
Hey, thank you. It's definitely an honor.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, watching and seeing how everyone else gets a chance to talk with you, and it's always a good vibe. So, yeah, this feels special.
All right. So, in the intro, I talk about the Instagram. I think I want to get into the Instagram a little bit.
Oh, you just jump right into it. Okay.
Jump right into it.
All right, let's go.
So when we first started, and I remember, I want to take a step back, even before the Instagram, because we got to talk about really how this whole golf thing started. So when I lived in New York, I think my brother gave me like a golf set, but because it's New York City, I went to the range in the Bronx one time, but I never did anything. And then when I came here in Houston, and then I got interested, and then I got those, starter clubs. And then for my birthday, you gifted me
the lessons.
You gifted me the lessons at, Herman Park. And I think that's what started it all with the lessons. So the first question I want to ask is, did you think I was going to this was going to, roll into what it is now from just taking lessons?
Oh.
What did you envision?
I had no idea that we would go this far. I think I like the idea of you having something to do. We had been in Houston less than a year.
Less than a
year. We had a lot of conversations about being in a new city, finding things for ourselves, making new friends, and having community. And we knew that community would be important for us, but how do we find those people? And it's so hard as an adult to make friends, make connections with people who are quality, and have the same interests that you have. And I think I like the idea of you playing golf, even if just because you have something that you are interested in and something that you like doing.
Okay. All right. I feel you on that. So I remember I started playing, I started going, and the day when I lost all the balls and then I cried, I came home
I don't think I really thought you. I think when you said, man, you tell that story like, yeah, I cried. I don't imagine you actually crying. I was thinking, oh, he was just really pissed that he lost all the balls. Like, I didn't think you actually cried.
Nah, tears rolled down.
Oh.
I wasn't bawling, but tears rolled down. Because I think what it is I think whenever I go play golf, like some parts of my mind is always thinking about you. Mm-hmm. He's always thinking, I cannot wait to get home to tell you about this. I cannot wait to get home to tell you about this great shot. But then when I lost all those balls and walked back, and I imagine walking into the house, and you're like, baby, how was it? You have that beautiful smile. You're like, baby, how was it? And then for me to be telling you the story, I think that's what hurt even more. It was like, oh, man.
Oh, that's devastating.
For real.
I certainly didn't think when I saw that you were interested and you had the clubs, and I think that most people, I'll say guys, because I've not seen women do this, and it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but I just have never seen women do this. But most guys start getting into golf, they do those random air swings, in the store, at the basketball game, the track meets. So I think once I saw you kind of like really getting into it and putting in the kitchen and all that stuff, I was like, oh, this is actually happening. Okay, so let's support it. I think in the same way that, I felt like you would have supported any new thing that I'm doing, or have supported all my random things that I start.
Okay. And then there's another part. So as we move into like the Instagram, so I decided, because I think I came home and I said, all of a sudden, feed on my Instagram start coming up with golf. And Wayne, the creator of Low Fade Golf, was the first person that started popping up. And then I remember one time I was at Clear Creek, and then I saw him. I introduced myself, and I kind of got inspired by doing that. I do remember that. And then you started helping me to manage that. And I remember when we were in Viral, I came home and you like, baby, this guy Roger Steele just liked one of your posts. And I didn't know who Roger Steele was.
Yeah.
You like, and I said, who's that? You like, oh, yo, I checked, the investigator as you are.
Well.
You probably have, you could tell what his birth certificate, what hospital, what time.
Wow.
You like, yo, baby, yeah, this guy Roger Steele, he's a real big deal. And I think at the time, we had like 64 followers.
Right.
And then overnight.
Yeah, we were just watching the numbers just roll.
Oh, my God. It was rolling.
That was really awesome.
And then you started giving me tips on how to do it. I remember not even knowing how to do like a story on Instagram. I'm like, how you do that?
Yes. I remember your first videos. You were just recording yourself talking over your games.
Oh my God,
yes.
That was the worst.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It wasn't fluid. It wasn't fluid, and then I think we started testing out just writing on the post.
Yes.
Right, and then we saw those writing on the post, and you were like, yeah, those talking over the posting were not good, because I would do like an hour and like, not an hour, a minute and like 20 seconds
of talking.
And people would be like, nah, next. And
exactly.
Then we started doing the short one.
Yes.
And you're like, yeah, you got to do the short
yes.
one.
Well, people's attention spans are extremely short.
I mean, your attention span, you're like my perfect guinea pig.
Listen.
And whenever I do a video, I'm like...
You better make it quick. I am on to the next. So
that's it.
Let's go. Get it in, get it out.
So you helping out to manage. I say you got bored, but I didn't know that you got bored until like maybe like a week after I was like, hey, babe, how come you haven't done anything? You're like, oh, my bad. And I immediately knew like, yeah, I did my part. I've done enough.
Is it bored? I don't know if it's bored.
Okay. What do you want to call it?
I don't have another word. Yeah, I feel like that's a topic for a whole other conversation about just like I'm go like feet first into something that is really exciting. So I guess maybe that is boredom. Cause
like, you got excited in the beginning.
I was like, oh, yay, so much fun.
And then once we get like to what you think is like, he's good.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
I'm like, okay, next.
All right, cool.
You know, I did this, I did some kind of like personality quiz testing.
Is that like the Briggs-Myers thing? The ERJ something?
Something like that, yeah.
All these things.
And then basically, well, I like it because it was actually on point. So it said that my personality is like, I'm the person that has the really good ideas, but I want to tell someone else how to do it and then move on. Not like I want to stick with it, and keep doing the work. I'm just like, I got the great ideas. I'm going to put you on and then I'm going to let you do your thing.
What's it like hearing your voice at the end of every episode?
I think I just chuckle a little bit every time I hear that. My voice sounds like so smooth. I never really hear myself.
No?
I mean, you do, but not the way it sounds on the
podcast.
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same in my head.
Okay, all right.
So, I think it's nice. I always love to hear you say like, and co-creator.
No, I said creative director.
Ooh,
you don't be listening to the podcast? Wow.
I do.
You don't listen all the way through?
Memorized. All the way to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be listening.
So I want to switch into like playing golf. So when I first started, I think I had like a nice little schedule, right? Like in the beginning, I had a schedule.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I would just be gone. Okay, say more.
No, I haven't said anything.
Oh, well, that sigh said a lot.
I want to allow you to finish your question.
So go ahead. Tell me how that made you feel when like golf started to like really fill up my world.
So I struggled in the beginning because at first it was like you would go to the range for a few hours and come back and let's say an hour or two,
right? Yeah,
and then you would come back and tell me about it, and we'd continue with the day. I think then it started turning into like extended time on the weekends, and then it was some extended time during the week, and I was like, oh wait, what's happening? I thought this was gonna be like a little side thing. I didn't know this was gonna be like I'm like the new boo. What's happening?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. We could always edit that out if you are uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I went and I played, and then after playing, I went and hung out.
Oh.
And then you came home, and
when you came home,
when I came home, you were giving me the cold shoulder, and then you said, "Oh, the kids were asking for you, and I didn't know where you were."
Oh my God! I was
talk
so
about that.
Tight. Oh, so tight.
Yo, when you said the kids were asking for you, I didn't know where you were. I was like, what does that mean?
What am I gonna say? So mad, like the audacity to just. Oh, so you just living your best life, huh? All right. Okay. Well,
but where did
how about that?
Because the kids have my number. all of them have my number. They all have phones. So when
Yeah,
you like,
but-
yo, the kids are asking for you, I don't know what to say.
Babe, they don't. But if they have me here, I know most of the wives can agree with this. If you're in the house with the kids, dad is off, living his best life, playing golf, throwing them back, all the jokes and all of that, that they are not calling you to ask you where you are. They're gonna come to the room, knock on the door. Hey, where's my dad? Hey, when's he coming back? Can he bring me something? I'm like, I'm not even with him. Why are you asking me if I can bring you something?
But it wasn't about the kids. I think it was about you.
Oh yeah, I mean, now I can say that it was about me because I was like, yo, what's up with you? You don't want to come home?
And then, so I remember there was another time though. There was another time we kind of got over that, right? So now you were like, hey, if you go and play golf, you got to tell me, right? Ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
Right.
Like put it on the calendar.
Not asking for permission, but let you know ahead of time.
Yeah.
So you can navigate your day. And then, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go play golf. But I got a tee time around 9. But I was playing all the way, like, somewhere in, like, Cyprus.
Ridiculous.
Black Horse, Cyprus. So I left the house at 7 because I wanted to warm up. And then played a full round, had a drink, and came back home at, like, 9 p.m.
And you went shopping.
Oh,
Was that
well,
the time you went shopping?
yeah, Chad wanted to go shopping. You know I don't like shopping, but Chad is like, yo, man, I need to stop here. Yeah.
Yo, Chad, I know you listening. It's going to take a long time to get you off my list. No, I'm just playing.
But yeah, I remember when I came and you were like, yeah, you did tell me you were going to play golf, but you didn't tell me this was going to be an all-day thing.
Listen, the only thing that made it better,
That is true.
you walked in the door with bags. You're like, I got you something. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not so upset.
Oh, yeah, that Victoria's Secret bag did make a difference.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I was walking into.
Listen,
I know what I was walking into. Yo, for real. All right, so I wanna pivot a little bit because I think the other day we saw a post by, was it
Tabitha Brown.
Okay, I be killing the H in my when I'm speaking.
That's okay. I got you.
Anyway, she was talking about. You sent me the post, the reel about talking about golf everywhere and all that stuff. Do you get tired of me talking about golf?
Talking about golf?
Going to play golf, YouTube on golf, falling asleep to golf.
Oh my gosh. Like the YouTube thing, I think is kind of funny because growing up in my home, I had all brothers. So between my brothers and my dad, there was always some sport on TV, but it was, it's football, it's basketball, it's ESPN on repeat. But now it's golf, and then you turn the golf on, and then you leave the house with the golf playing in the background. And I'm thinking, why am I listening to this? And then all of a sudden it's like, put it in the hole. No.
Yo.
Make it stop.
One time I went to play with Israel.
Yeah.
And he screamed that.
No.
Yo, really?
I love it.
He's like, get in the hole. I'm like, oh, bro, what?
Pause.
Pause. Yo, but it was fun. We've had some fun days. I would take you with me to play. Okay, so
I'm great at, listen, I got the golf wife cart partner down packed. I'm going to keep the vibes. The drinks are full. I'm going to even drive.
Yo, I remember I suck at that time. You used to come with me in those early times, right?
Oof.
I would suck at Clear Creek. Would be in the rough.
In the marsh. Oh my God. It's riding around in circles. Like, wait, no, it can't be this far. I have to pass it. Let's go back. Go back. Okay, I don't know. All right, I'm just going to drop here.
And I remember one time you like, babe, go ahead. I'm good.
So to my defense, it's Houston. It's hot as hell. It's hot as hell. And we riding around. There's not enough, like, drinks. There's not enough. There's not enough vibes in the music that makes me want to be out there, like, riding around in the marsh.
And especially I'm not playing well.
And you mad. But you're trying to put on a good face because you don't want to get frustrated. I'm good.
And then the next time you went, I started playing well.
You did.
You're like, all right, baby, I see you. Do your thing. So I like that.
I was like, wait a minute. We came straight down the thing.
The fairway.
Yeah.
No detour.
Have to take the sidewalk.
Golf courses do not have sidewalk. So you're saying I was that far off.
You know what I mean. Cart path. Yes.
Yo, that is crazy. Oh my God. That is sick. All right. So what's been your proudest moment, like, of the podcast?
I don't know that there's one moment that is the proudest. I think every episode I'm proud. Like, watching you make this look, I know that it's not effortless. I know that it takes a lot of effort to find people, convince them to want to talk and share their experiences. And some people are probably really excited, but other people, it may be, I think in the beginning we struggled a little bit with, like, securing what does this setup look like?
Right, yeah.
Is it a visual or is it just audio? Is it something that's in public or is it on Zoom? Is it, like, trying to really figure out what this podcast would look like. To see it now and how smooth the process goes, I think that I'm just proud with every episode, with how you talk to people, you make them feel so comfortable. The pride that they have with sharing their own experiences with golf, and the most hilarious stories that come out of these situations, and I think all of it, even down to looking at the data and seeing how this is not just something that's happening, like, locally with one isolated group of people, but it's actually something that's happening, like, now outside of the country. You know, like,
we have people in Germany, India.
That's
I was
amazing.
like, wait, how did that happen?
That makes me really proud.
Is there any part, like, have you ever had an episode of the podcast where you're listening to it and you're like, that did not land well?
Plead the fifth.
You plead that? Why?
Oh, you know, I would hate to not be, I don't know. You know how I am. I don't want to
Come on.
be like,
Nah.
no. So I think that it takes a certain kind of person
Okay.
to
Okay.
like make a conversation interesting for someone who's not a part of the conversation to want to like stay engaged.
Okay. Okay.
And so it's not for everybody.
Okay.
I think
okay.
there's some times that there have been some episodes that were kind of like, oh, this is tough.
Tough to listen
This
to?
is tough to listen to. Yeah. But you know,
But you know, it's so interesting. I remember one episode when we first started. Mm-hmm. I generally send people like a guest, hey, here is going to be the setup. Here are some suggested questions that I may ask. You know, if there's anything you want me to ask. But more importantly, because we started off doing Zoom, right? I would be like, be in a lit place because I'm thinking maybe later I may want to publish this on YouTube and all that stuff. And I remember one of the guests that we had, my guy got on Zoom at the corner of a Target.
oh my goodness.
Leaning against one of those cart at Target. And then I'm hearing people in the background, aisle 5. But,
Oh no.
and then I couldn't see his face. He was, you know how sometimes you FaceTime older people? Right? They put the phone in their ears.
Yes.
He
So
was doing that.
So you're looking at ear hair.
I'm looking at ear hair, and he's not hearing the question I'm asking. So he's just basically going on and on and on and on.
Right.
And I think it's an episode, when I go back and I listen to it, I'm like, oh man, this was a really tough episode to do because it's someone that I really appreciate, that I really like. But at the same time, I couldn't be like, we got to re-record this because... And I think in the beginning, I was like, oh, I want to make sure that I'm consistent
Yes.
on dropping, even if it's an episode that I regret, but I want to drop anyway. But thinking back on it, I think that week could have been an off week.
A bye week. Listen, I definitely was thinking about that episode too.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because, I think the intention was probably there, but it just missed the mark.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. What's been your favorite episode?
So I will say that one, this is so hard. So I liked the episode with Meg the golfer.
Okay. Mindful golf.
Girls first.
Yeah, she's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's really dope.
I liked the Big Smoke.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
That was
yeah.
a really good one. That part about the fight was hilarious.
Yeah.
I really liked the 7-iron golf. Because that was the one that
was the very first episode of the podcast.
And it was so good. I think that whole small, like, black-owned business and brand that's doing some amazing things, like quality products. I loved all of that. I loved hearing about, like, all of the effort that goes into maintaining something like that and presenting something that people can really get behind. So there's been a lot of episodes and that are really good.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I think that very first episode with the 7-iron golf, that I think for me if there's anything that says, hey, this is going to be really good, as a sign, that was it. Because I think I reached out online, on Instagram, saying, hey, we're doing this. Would you like to? And I think I sent them like the trailer, which didn't really have much other than me saying, this podcast is going to be about golf and everything in between. And he was so gracious, right, to come on, to talk, like really took the time to generally share his perspective about what he was doing. And I think, yeah, I could see why that would be a really good, fun episode. And he came in the right light.
Oh, he had it together.
To this day, this is the one episode. It's actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
I put that on YouTube. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so we're winding down. Questions I have for you. Do you enjoy when I go early tea time or late tea time?
I think it depends on the day.
Okay.
Because that's hard. That's a little hard, I think.
Why? What makes that hard?
Well, I think if you go early in the morning, I know it's nice to get out and get started early.
Right.
But that also could mean that you get excited and you decide to play another 9 after the 18. So then it's not like an early morning, it's like an all day. Or evening, that's like, the time when I may have I may need you the most, because that's like the time when we clock in and that second shift and I'm like,
what's going on?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel you.
I don't know.
Nah, I get what you're saying and all that stuff.
Why are you laughing?
Because when you mentioned an extra 9, because I think there was one time on the weekend, I'm like, babe, I got this work thing I got to get done. I need to get to the office.
Oh my goodness.
And then I actually went to the office. But the key to my office door is here. I never lock my office door at work. And then I get there, the maintenance person locked the door, so I can't get inside the office. And then so I go play at Herman Park. And I remember you called me on the phone. You were asking me a question. And you like, oh, so how's work going?
Right.
I said, it's going okay.
Work. I was like...
You didn't say anything, though, until I came home. You like, work, huh?
Yeah.
Where is it? Exactly. Is it in Third Ward? But I think the intention was for me to go to work. But when I got there, I can't get in my office.
Right.
Like, how am I I can't work from my phone.
Of course.
But I could just walk in at Herman Park. That's always open.
Listen, you might as well.
All right. Okay.
Live your best life.
Baby, I live my best life with you.
Do you? No, I'm just playing.
All right. Okay. So we talk about the podcast. We talk about the golf situation, right? And so now, are there any time where you felt like you wanted to be a guest host or in the podcast? Is there somebody that you'd want to see or you'd want to hear on the podcast being interviewed?
Okay, so as far as being a guest host, no. And I say no only because I think that you do such an amazing job at engaging people. And that is not just for the podcast, that's in everyday life. From the store clerk to the waiter to to the kids at the Chick-fil-A line, like everybody. So and I think, that's one of the things that I fell in love with first, is just the way that you communicate, engage people, and have discussion. So you're really good at this.
I remember
don't even
you
know
said,
that I could even try to step in those shoes.
I remember when we first got together, you weren't saying this to me, but you were saying that to one of your best friends. Mm-hmm. You were like, oh, when we first met, he was so engaging. And I thought this is something he did just for me.
Until I realized everybody gets the same thing. Oh my goodness. I thought I was so special. I was like, oh my gosh. He talks to me so much. He asks me such great questions. Meanwhile, you at work being a therapist. So how do you feel about that?
Nah, you special, baby. You special. You special. All right. Do you have any questions for me before we close out?
Do I have any questions? No, I don't.
All right, that's cool. So I got one thing for you. Final thing.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Being part of Let's Talk More Action Golf means...
community. It means being in a place, joining a space where you're welcomed. It's good vibes. It's all the great things that you want to have in life, without any pressure. It's the ability to come in, be who you are, and not be celebrated every day. And, I think what I appreciate the most is that Let's Talk More Action, although it is a podcast now, it really started out as your journey to becoming better, and acknowledging that there is no perfect, and that it is all about consistency and effort and striving for that 1% more every day.
So I was going to close out with this, but then you said such great thing about me. I feel like I need to tell that story about when I went to Orlando. When I went to Florida.
Oh, okay.
I never really packed enough.
Ever.
So I go there, and then I'm like, yo, I want to go play at this golf course. It's called Hawks Landing and all that stuff. But I played yesterday, and I didn't pack enough clothes. I didn't get a chance to wash clothes or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you like, baby, hold on. What kind of balls do you play with? And then in my mind, I'm thinking you asking me random questions. Mm-hmm. And I think like an hour later, Instacart delivered a pack of Titleist balls. Mm-hmm. Pause, right? Am I supposed to pause, right? Because if you're delivering balls. Delivering? All right. Okay. I didn't deliver them. Instacart did. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then you got me a nice, I think one of the most expensive golf shirt I have with the good.
Oh, the
golf
the
shirt.
Purple shirt.
Yeah. And I think I've always known that I married up. Like, I can't do any better than you. But when you did that day, I was like, okay, Okay, well, let's lock it in right there. Yo, I think, yeah, I don't know that I could ever. I think the last time I got that feeling was when you threw out that surprise birthday party for me. Like,
yeah.
it was like, oh my God. I was flowing. Like, I mean, like, it was like, yo, I'm the bomb. Like, you in Texas, I'm in Orlando. You get like stuff. Oh, it was
Delivered, hand delivered.
hand
right
delivered.
to you.
Jose delivered them joint to me. He's like, hey, Mr. Luke. Yo, I was so excited. I was so, and I look good.
Of course.
I look really good in that. So,
did.
thank you. I really appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Thank you for your support.
Always.
I'm gonna keep your voice at the end.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yo, I remember recently, I don't know what was going on with us. I was editing, and because I knew the voice was already there, you thought I had beef with you. You like, oh, you don't play my voice at the end no more?
Yeah, I was like, no, we're not about to switch it up now. You're going to keep it. That's standard format.
That's
sir.
it. It doesn't go anywhere. That's let's block that.
I'm in this.
All right, baby.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We always have fun.
Course.
Yeah, but I thought it was important for people to kind of like get a sense of like, you know, when I give you credit, for them to know why it's important to me.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk More Action Golf podcast.
Let's talk more action.
We hope that you've enjoyed today's episode. A big shout out to our producer and creative director, Ajane Josafa, for bringing the show to life. And a special thank you to Sid Mac for our fantastic music. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on your favorite platform. Follow us on social media for the latest update and exclusive content at Let's Talk More Action Golf. I'm your host, Luke Josafa. Until next time, keep swinging easy, and remember, let's talk more action golf.
Life's a maze, keep your head high when you going through it. I saw dead bodies licking the eyes of the living. Held back cause you held back from making bigger decisions. We get lost, but this journey comes with us down, that's a given. That's a given. That's a given. We get lost, but the journey comes with us down, that's a given. That's a given.
Let's talk more action golf.